Meghan, does she come or does she not? And she's kind of damned both ways. If she doesn't come, it's a snub for the royal family, and certainly that's the way at least one newspaper was portraying it this morning. But if she does come, it's hypocritical given all that's been said.
Harry will come, but Meghan will not. Valentine Low, the Times' royal correspondent, joins us. Good morning.
Good morning, Rosie.
We're being led to believe, the front page of the Mail at least says, there have been delicate negotiations described as a game of transatlantic ping pong. How tense do you think it's been to work out who actually was coming to the coronation?
I think it's certainly been delicate negotiations. Harry, not so long ago was suggesting that his father and his brother should apologise to him before he actually gets round to coming to the coronation. But I think the main point is that Harry and Meghan were agonising over it. They didn't really know what to do. Harry was on one hand furious with his family, but on the other hand, still has some love for his father, still respects the institution of the monarchy. And then Meghan, does she come or does she not? And she's kind of damned both ways. If she doesn't come, it's a snub for the royal family, and certainly that's the way at least one newspaper was portraying it this morning. But if she does come, it's hypocritical given all that's been said. And of course, she doesn't have the same ties, the same sort of familiar ties, the same sort of institutional, historical ties even that Harry does. I think it was genuinely difficult for them. And Harry's a bit like his brother William. He likes a good dither. I think it was difficult for them. And I think in the end they had to make the decision, which was not guided by the PR calculations, which of course were important, but guided by what they thought was the best thing to do.
It potentially avoids some tricky moments.
Yeah, it potentially avoids some tricky moments, but I think there'll pretty much be a hatful of tricky moments anyway. I mean, relations between Harry and his father are pretty poor. He and William are on no speaks. We learned the other day that when Harry and Meghan joined William and Kate for that sort of moment before the Queen's funeral outside Windsor Castle, when they greeted all those well-wishers, Kate apparently thought it was the hardest thing she'd ever had to do in their life. So, it will all be tricky. And I think any sort of encounters between Harry and the rest of his family will be on the perfunctory side, really. I don't think there's going to be no great reconciliations this time round, and I think his trip will be pretty short and sharp. He'll go to the coronation ceremony at Westminster Abbey on Saturday, May the 6th, but I don't think he'll go to any of the other events.
In the meantime, the people watching on any of these encounters, we're getting a little bit more of an idea of who will make up that list of 2,000 attendees.
Yeah, we've got various royalty from all around the world, and we've got Jill Biden, not Joe Biden. Poor old Joe, frightfully busy, can't make it. And people like Ursula von der Leyen, slowly and surely. And of course, slowly and surely the guest list is becoming apparent. But also, interestingly, we've got all those charity people and holders of the British Empire Medal, hundreds of them at the event, which will make it, as was inevitably headlined in at least one paper, the People's Coronation. So in terms of the sort of the social cross-section of people who will be there in the Abbey, it's a very different event to what it was in 1953 for the late Queen.
And what about the event itself, the actual coronation? Because there have been loads of reports in the past few days about planning being in some kind of chaos, reports of ramps quickly having to be built. Is that sort of part of the course, or is it something that they'd be worried about?
I as soon as I saw that, I took that with pretty much a pinch of salt. I think rehearsals for these things are probably always chaotic to start off with. And I'm absolutely sure that you could have written the same thing before 1953, 1937, and going back every coronation. And of course, what you have to remember is most coronations have always gone wrong. Going back over history, there's always been a cock-up. And it's only in recent years when they've been televised that we've kind of expected this perfection, this choreographed, rehearsed perfection. They've always gone wrong in the past. So the idea that rehearsals also go wrong, well, that's entirely to be expected.
I just have to ask now, what's the worst coronation blunder?
Well, I think just off the quick, whichever one of the Georges, and I forget which one it was. Sorry, historians, please write in. But his wife, Caroline Mansbach, he had fallen out with her. He hated her. She was banned from the coronation. She turned up anyway, demanded to be let in, and they shut the door in their face. I mean, I think that
They'll do
pretty
it, yeah.
much takes the biscuit.
Just very finally, Val, we get the benefit, even though it's radio, of seeing you on a webcam. I can see 2 guitars and a piano with some sheet music. What have you been practicing on the piano?
I have a very musical family, and I'm the one non-musical.
I was going to get you to give us a. I was going to get you to give us a go anyway, another time.
Valentine Low, thank you so much. The Times' royal correspondent on the emerging details of the 6th of May.